Okay, so this polynomial, we want to factor it. It's a trinomial, but it has an x and a y, so it's over two variables. It's a polynomial in two variables. But the y just kind of tacks on. So we're used to having the x. We're used to having coefficients. So if we did the AC method, I'll show you that again just if you want to see it. Probably trial and error is just as good this time. But 2 times 3 is 6. So I need it to multiply to be 6 and add to be a negative 7. Okay, that negative 7 is coming from the middle term, the coefficient. So, and this is the AC part right here, the 2 times 3. Okay, so if I'm going to multiply to be a positive and add to be a negative, they both have to have the same sign. So it's not going to be 2 and 3. It's going to be negative 1 and negative 6. That multiplies to be 6, you know. Negative 1 times negative 6 is 6, and negative 1 plus negative 6 is negative 7. Okay, so now here comes the AC part, or the method, how we write it out. Okay, 2x squared, keep the first term. This is going to split up. It's going to be a negative 1 and a negative 6. Negative 1xy minus 6xy. Now, it was the xy term. That's why we're splitting it into two xy terms. And then the back one, that one stays the same. So plus 3y squared. Okay? All right, now I draw the dotted line. What do the first two have in common? X. And what do the back two have in common? It'll be negative because this is a minus sign right here. But they have a 3 and a y in common. They're both divisible by 3 and both divisible by y. Then that's going to get me 2x here, because negative 3y times 2x, that's negative 6xy. And then this is going to be minus, because a minus times a minus is going to be positive. And then it's going to be just a y. Okay, negative 3, I'm checking it. Negative 3y times negative y, is that 3y squared? Yes. Okay, now the good news. This parenthesis and this parenthesis, binomial, I should say this binomial and that binomial, they're the same. Okay, that's great because now I'm going to have 2x minus y as one of my binomials, and the other binomial is going to be x minus 3y. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you the check just so you can see it. I'm foiling, by the way, this is the answer. I'm foiling. X times 2x is 2x squared. Trying to keep my arches out of the way. X times negative y would be negative xy. And then the inner, it would be negative 6xy. And then the last would be negative times negative is positive 3y squared. And then those middle two terms should be like terms that can be combined. They are negative 1 and negative 6 is negative 7. And that should be what we had at the very beginning, which I have to scroll up. Yep. Okay, so this is the check. All right, so it's a little tricky, but again, practice. You know, you get really good at factoring by doing a lot of factoring, and that's the way it is.